Hey, good morning. I'm Randy. I'm the Cheap Audio Man, and today we're talking about the Elac Debut B6. Yes, I know, it's been out for a while, since 2015 actually, but it's still available, and I think it still holds up. So grab a cup of coffee, sit down, and let's talk about the Elac Debut B6. Okay, so this is going to be my first ever 7-minute speaker review because my speaker reviews are getting to be quite long and I'm babbling quite a bit. So if you're new here, please subscribe. I'm giving away a pair of free speakers, the Klipsch R51Ms. I will link that video in the description. Go down, click on it, watch the video, and find out how you can enter to win a free pair of speakers. Get a free pair of speakers. That's awesome. I would love it if I got a free pair of speakers. I don't have any free speakers. They're quite expensive. All right, so let's talk about the Elac Debuts. They've been out since 2015, as I said. They're spec'd at 44 hertz up to 35 hertz. They're 6 ohm nominal impedance and 87 dB. Not hard to drive. They have a 6.5 inch aramid fiber woofer. And I don't have to worry about denting the tweeter because these have a tweeter grill. It's a 1-inch cloth dome tweeter. Okay, they're rear ported. They have nice binding posts. All right, so I got these a few years ago. They have a vinyl wrap. It's not like a fake wood vinyl wrap. It's just they call it a brushed vinyl wrap. Is it great? No, it's not great. Actually, they have the same vinyl wrap on the Unify UV5s, which I also own, and that wrap is starting to come up on the corners. Is that a big deal? It may be to you. It's not really to me. You can get a little glue and then push it back and then wipe the glue off. Then you're done. I care more about sound than I do about looks. Anyway, let's talk about soundstage and imaging. This is where this speaker gave me an experience I'd never had with another speaker before. I was constantly turning my head because it soundstaged so well. It's got a wide dispersion tweeter on it. It images so well that I was looking for extra speakers that I thought I had somehow hooked up and put under my desk or above me. My wife even sat down, and she's not an audio enthusiast. Her words or comment was, "How many speakers do you have set up?" And I said, "Just these two." So even she was really impressed with them. So soundstage imaging, great. Center image, locked on. And it doesn't really matter that much how you have them towed in. They've just got such a good off-axis response. All right, let's talk about bass. Bass on these is very full, very thick, very nice. I wouldn't say it's the most accurate thing in the world, but you don't need a subwoofer with these, not at all. And I tried them on a variety of amps, from a Chinese Class D amplifier to my TA100 Emotivo, all the way up to an integrated Anthem 225. They played well with everything. They get a bit better. Okay, so bass is there, thick, a little bit sloppy, but nice and full, and real punchy. It's good. It's really good. Let's talk about mid-range. All right, mid-range on these is very smooth. Okay. Not overtly detailed, but not overtly veiled. Male vocals are great. Acoustic guitars are great, but it leans on the warmer side on the mid-range. Female vocals are slightly veiled, although it doesn't stick out to me as being like, oh my gosh, this is horrible, upper mid-range. But just bear in mind, female vocals are slightly veiled and not as detailed. Across the mid-range, there isn't a huge amount of detail, but it doesn't mean it sounds bad. Talk about treble. All right, treble on these is rolled off. Even though it says it's spec'd out to 35,000 hertz, you're that crispy detail, that excitement is not there. However, When you turn these up, and because of the amount of real thick and visceral bass, you're going to get an experience that you haven't heard before. As you turn these up, the treble seems to come back a bit, okay? Also, there's tone controls, so you can always turn up your tone controls, unless you have an amp that doesn't have tone controls, which I wouldn't really recommend. So out of the box, these speakers are a bit rolled off. The treble on these, it's not that they're not detailed, it's just that it's hard to hear. So if you want a more exciting speaker, you're going to have to bump up your treble. Okay, 5 minutes and 30 seconds. All right, what are my final thoughts? Final thoughts on this speaker, it blew my mind. Absolutely blew my mind. I'd never experienced anything like it in a speaker before. I use these as my front channels in my room home theater setup. And I don't need a center. I don't need, it's just, it throws sound everywhere, and it uses your room to just immerse you in sound. These are a fantastic speaker if you can get over the rolled off treble. It has a warmer presentation. Is it as warm as some other speakers I've heard? No, it's not. It's I wouldn't call it balanced. I would call it leaning towards the warm side. If you want more treble, just turn up the treble on your receiver or integrated amp. You can still get these. $230. They retailed for $300 when they first came out. If you're looking for something, maybe your first big boy speaker or big girl speaker, give a hard look to this. If you got $500 to spend on a speaker, look hard at these and the Q Acoustics 3020. They're different flavors, but having both of those would be such a fun experience to be able to switch out. They're both $230 right now. They're both previous generations, and that's $460. So we're at 7 minutes already. Great speaker, incredible. The most accurate? Probably not. Absolutely not the most accurate. Rolled off on the treble, but where they lack in treble, they make up for in the musical experience. This is a musical experience. You feel this speaker. It's big, it fills the room, and it hits you in the gut, and it gets you closer to the music than a lot of other speakers at this price range. So, with that, I am Randy, and I'm the Cheap Audio Man.